welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about Tesla. We're going to look at the daily chart, the weekly chart. Basically we look at the charts to give us a little bit of an edge. It helps us identify where price is going to go in the short term, long term. It helps us remain calm when markets are choppy. It helps us know when we've got a good price, when we can get good risk reward entries and then de-risk as things get a little bit spicy. Other than that, we're going to take a look at the short and long dated open options interest. That gives us a little bit of an insight in what the big boys in the market are doing. We're going to look at the Tesla news, see what's coming on the horizon. Is it exciting? Is there some bad news coming? All that good stuff. Other than that, though, if you can't be bothered to stick around for the main content of this video, I'm still super bullish on Tesla, and that's pretty much the key takeaway. Other than that, my live portfolio there is linked in the description below, and I've chucked it up on the screen there for you. Doing pretty good for the last 2 years there. Moving straight on to the Tesla chart. This chart looks super bullish still. Can't hate it. Love it. We've had a really good pullback. Let's have a quick measure. About 20%. If you wanted to get into Tesla, that was your opportunity there. I don't know if it's going to go lower. I was hoping it'd come back down to kind of 360, 350, so I could buy a lot more shares, but that hasn't happened. I did add a couple of positions here, timed the bottom pretty well, timed the top pretty well on this one as well. So again, I would like this one to come lower to those levels previously mentioned, and then below that we've got the kind of bull market support band here, which is quite chunky, so that one currently would be quite hard to break. But the chart overall still looks really bullish. RSI is cooled right off. Love that. And then the MACDX Plus has calmed down a little bit. Institutions are sort of having a breather, but that's not really a surprise. And the flow is kind of neutral. So let's take a look at the weekly. Again, this still looks super bullish to me. Mainly it looks like a big ass cup and handle forming as well, which the measured move on that one would be quite beastie. Let me see. Just ballpark. I'm eyeballing this, so don't take my word for it. I'll probably add this to my chart probably for next time. Gets us to over my end of year target, which is 700 for next year. So the measured move for next year looks pretty good if that does turn out to be a really good cup and handle. I like the odds of that. I think I'm going to be very conservative with my $700 price target for Tesla next year. But there's a lot of stuff in flux for Tesla. We don't know a lot of the pricing around certain stuff, so it's really hard to build an accurate model until we get some more of that data. We've got the semis coming. The mega factory scale is producing the trial batteries now, I think. Obviously the FSD is getting insane. There's just a lot going on for Tesla. I think this year is going to be very good for Tesla, and the government's going to be very pro Tesla, as we know. So I don't know how you could be bearish on Tesla right now. Other than that, though, on the chart though, RSI it's cooled off a little bit on the weekly. Still a little bit spicy, but if we look back historically, Tesla can get redonkulous on the RSI there, so it's not too much of a red flag until it gets up into the kind of 90s area for Tesla. But I certainly would expect things to be looking quite overpriced if we got that hot on it. MACDX Plus looks good. Institutions still dominating, and the flow is positive but kind of stalling a little bit. No surprise though, had pretty decent pullback. So overall the charts look amazing. Okay, looking at Tesla's open options interest, we can see we've got a resistance line here at 405. That just means market makers are going to sell there. They don't want price to move higher because it means it costs them more, all that weird stuff. All you need to know is that market makers will sell at resistance and buy at support. So if price falls down to 375, we often get bounces there because that's where market makers are going to buy it. These prices move around depending on where the volume is at a lot of the strikes and the dates and stuff. It's where they can inflict the most pain on the most investors, basically. So something to be aware of. Also good levels to be aware of if you're going to use leverage. So because they're where the liquidity grabs are going to be. So if we push it out another week, let's have a look. So a lot of the bearishness for Tesla seems to go away, and we've got a lot more interest in upside over the short term. Let's push it out to 2026, see what the market's thinking for then. It keeps being really laggy for some reason. Apologies. So for January 2026, we've still got a lot of bearish interest to the downside. So some people kind of betting that there's going to be some big boo-boos on the horizon. I think they're probably wrong, but good luck to them. So we do have a lot of interest in the kind of $500, $550, and $600 area. They're below my current targets. I would expect as the year progresses for volume on the strikes higher up to progress as well. I think we can actually see 2027 now as well. Yeah, we can. That's nice. So this is 2 years out, what the market's thinking. Very little in the way of bearish. So people are thinking Tesla's going to do very well over a 2-year period. So a longer time frame seems to be more favored for Tesla, which makes sense since a lot of the products they're wanting to bring to the market will take time to scale up, time to roll out, and time to get legislation and all that good stuff. Okay, so Tesla news. There's a constant stream of Tesla news lately, especially Elon-related news. But let's just focus on Tesla. So Morgan Stanley ups its Tesla price target with a bull case of $800. Now this is higher than what I would consider a conservative target. But Morgan Stanley seems to have based theirs more on the cab and that kind of stuff. But other than that, though, Amit's done a good write-up here. He does a lot of Tesla bits and bobs. So he's mentioned again Morgan Stanley, and then the Juniper received 50,000 orders on launch day. That's amazing. It's insane. A lot of the slowdown with production last quarter was because they stopped a lot of lines to upgrade ready for Juniper. So a lot of people were super negative that they missed their targets slightly on growing their production year over year. But it is what it is. They have to make these upgrades to bring out the new model, so you can't hate too much. What else did he put? The FSD, the new upgrade is insane. Exponential improvement. Tesla did rally. I don't know if this necessarily drove the rally. There was some TikTok rumors as well, but I'll take what I can take. Chinese officials are evaluating a potential option that involve operations TikTok. So he mentioned the TikTok in there as well. That I think that's very unlikely to happen. TikTok's a load of rubbish. It's just, who can learn anything from TikTok? That's us all done and dusted for another Tesla Tuesday wrap up. If you enjoyed this content, give the video a like, share it with your mum, your nan, your dog, your dad, whoever, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.